It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get your skate every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Alrighty, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yep. Kind of an exciting week for us. I know we all got fun family things. Your daughter Magnolia is home from Florida State for a little while here, Virginia at least.
Yes, we've been doing fun family stuff, all of us together.
Uh-huh.
And I can tell Rocco likes it. He likes having his sister back. You know, he won't admit it. He always says, oh, I like being an only child. But he does enjoy having his sister here and the whole family together.
Yeah, it's a cool little thing. And then my son Colin is going to be in South Florida. He comes in tomorrow.
Nice.
Yes. So I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to take a little bit of time here this week and try to spend it with him. He leaves quickly on Saturday to get out, and then he's going to a wedding on Friday night. So he'll kind of be with his friends. So have limited time with him, and I don't want to waste it. You can't waste it. That's the thing. As you get a little bit older, you realize that each of these little experiences you have with loved ones, it's not indefinite.
Yes.
It's not indefinite.
And it's truly special when everybody can be together.
Yep, you're right. There's a country song, Virginia. It's called Last Time for Everything. Oh. And it pulls at the heartstrings as a country song does, just kind of naming all those last things that you never know when there's a last time for everything. So
You could be having your last radio show today.
God, I hope so. No. When? Kidding. You're right. So that's it. Got to take advantage of that. So that'll be fun. So we're going to show him and his boyfriend around Jupiter a little bit, I believe, and take him around, see the sights.
Nice.
That country song you're speaking of, and I've never even heard it before, but someone dies in that song, don't they? Someone gets an untimely death, and it's fucked.
I think it's alluding, yes, it is. It's, last time for everything, and it kind of goes through all those last things. Yes, it's a Brad Paisley song.
You're hit by a pickup truck.
Grandpa Jake was grabbing the rake, and then a pickup truck hit his face.
That's kind of it, yeah. That's what it is.
Death by pickup truck is inevitable in a country song.
Yeah, well, you could almost hear a country song ramping up to oh, fuck, they're going to die.
Yeah.
Someone's dying.
Some of the lyrics in it, using a fake ID at a college bar.
Oh, man, I remember those days.
Getting caught with a girl in the backseat of a car.
I mean, come on now.
Running out of the field for the senior game wearing number 17.
We could have made states.
You got to throw high school football in there.
We could have made states.
Yep. There's a last time for everything.
Dang.
That's pretty much how I thought that would go.
That's how every country song goes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So they just run through all that. You see some of the fun stuff we had today. Learned a little bit about ADHD and got some great follow-up emails. It was, if you want to go back and listen to the regular show, just kind of listed off some of these signs that you may have ADHD. And from the emails that I'm getting, a lot of people are saying that it's pretty on point. What was on that list of signs that you might see. Things like you lose control of your emotions during disagreements with your partner, or you feel hypersensitive to feedback from your partner, or you unintentionally interrupt when your partner is talking.
Fuck, I have ADHD.
Yeah. It says you may feel particularly irritated when your partner breaks your focus. And you procrastinate on household chores or other tasks, or you go to bed much later than your partner. Those are all some of the signs that they had of ADHD.
And that article is really kind of diving deeper in a relationship, kind of a couple thing, if you're noticing your partner.
Yeah, right.
But I think that could apply for any kind of relationship.
Yeah, I'm sure that it probably could. I mean, there are some things about being sensitive. The one that, speaks to me is being irritated when, somebody breaks your focus. And, I'd had a therapist one time tell me, she's like, I think you need to get tested. I was like, well, what's it going to do for me? I'm like, I didn't bother with it. She's like, I think you have it. But I can tell you it's really hard. And then when somebody breaks it, in fact, that's why I have all these barriers to talk about. I don't answer phones. I don't get texts. I don't do anything. Because to me, if I can get my mind to focus on one thing, I can't. Because if it's gone, then it's just.
Don't stop.
Gosh, it's so hard to get back in.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll learn to shut the fuck up more during commercial break. There's times I always ask Kevin a question either 10 seconds before he has to do a live spot or right before we go back on the air. I don't mean to do it.
And it's deep.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
usually
you're
some
right.
deep, heartfelt shit.
It's never easy, but I get it. I'm seeing it.
No, it's okay. And I don't mind it. And I don't ever, that's why I try to always watch my body energy and my face and things like that and don't ever try to let on what it is. But yeah, if people see me be like, why didn't Kevin talk during the show? It's because I'm trying to focus on what's coming up next. And if I don't stay locked in, then we could be on, the music could be playing, like, what am I doing, man? Oh, well, okay. I got to talk
I don't even
about
know
something.
where I am.
What am I talking about? I don't even know, man. What do you guys want to talk about? I don't know. You know, that's if I were not a focused Kev, that's what the show would be like. What is this guy doing? What's he on? It's crazy. Jessie had sent an email. She said, I love today's segment on ADHD. I grew up a lot when a lot of boys were being diagnosed, but my parents thought it was a fake disorder and just an excuse for bad behavior. Well, my husband, now 40, was diagnosed with ADHD in kindergarten, and he was medicated through part of middle school. He still shows most of the symptoms you mentioned. Well, fast forward last year, our bright, happy daughter, then in first grade, was struggling in school, losing confidence. Knowing ADHD is genetic, we had her tested, a 4.5-hour session, 15-page report later, and she was diagnosed with ADHD, anxiety, and depression. Reading depression broke my heart.
Aww.
Thankfully, we found a medication that works. She's now thriving in second grade and will likely be in the gifted program next year.
Oh, good for her.
Our 6-year-old son was also diagnosed. He knew the material but struggled to sit still and produce at school. Nearly had to repeat kindergarten. Early testing and support have made a huge difference for both kids. I'm now officially the only non-ADHDer in the house. It's been challenging but rewarding to find new systems that work for us. Even if my mom, who once thought ADHD was fake, still judges. #I roll. At the end of the day, my kids are thriving, and that's what matters most.
Aww.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Also, Amanda said, I have ADHD. I was diagnosed with it as a kid, never took meds for it, and I learned to deal with it. There are days that are worse than others, but I learned to keep focusing as much as I can and take notes. Also, Mary Jane helps a lot.
How do you know if it, I mean, what's the difference then? I mean, can't you also have just anxiety or depression as well?
Yeah, I think so, and I've not put a lot of time into it. To me, I thought, well, what's the difference? I don't want to medicate. That is one of my big things. I'm not a fan of, and I'm living, I'm surviving. I just know that, for instance, hey, you can't answer your phone. You can't pay attention to Jbird's question 10 seconds before your live spot. You know, just but things like that. You just know your own limitations, which I think we do in anything that you have. You know your limitations.
You do, and I think the toughest thing for that is to be honest with yourself and go, this is what these are the cards I got. What's the best way with this you know, these cards, how to make this work? But you got to be honest sometimes, and that can be kind of tough.
The hardest thing is when people don't understand what you have to do to make things, and they think that you're either standoffish or you're rude or
Kevin is a deck.
right, you know, things like that, and you're like, look, I would
No,
love to.
I'm trying to focus.
Right, you don't understand like how challenging it is for me to get my thoughts to go linear.
I mean, you're right about that. A lot of times people, you know, my whole entire life, no one ever has understood why I can't walk in front of large structures or why I have to go 15 minutes this way when it would only take Virginia 5, mainly because she's speeding. But no, but I'll have to go different alternate routes sometimes because I know you don't want to go over that bridge. You don't want to do it this way. That is hard for people to understand. They don't get that.
But that's a lot too. And then that's like just trying to navigate all that in your brain.
Yeah, and then trying to tell somebody that and explain that, they go, "Oh, you're fucking lying." People will think you're lying about some of that shit.
Yeah,
like you're saying. So it is hard when you've got something that people don't seem to understand, but you internally know. But this is how it is. They swear.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's kind of it. I got an email from Robert, and he said, I don't know if you remember me emailing you a while back regarding ADHD and how the majority makes the minority of us look just terrible for the most part. I wanted to start by saying even myself diagnosed with that and autism, there's nothing wrong with needing medication. However, I have been without it for 2 weeks, and adults with real ADHD learn how to manage with or without, but Jbird's list is pretty on point. Even if we're not hyper emotional at that moment, our feelings about things can be so much more intense, and sometimes this means getting emotional about certain topics, as well as getting overstimulated and hyper focusing on how to improve certain things, causing us to lack in other departments. It's a daily struggle. Unfortunately, Palm Beach doctors probably do write a little extra for those over on the island who pretend to need it just to get out of bed, which causes those who really do need it to get out of bed to suffer.
Yeah, and I don't want to mix up my words because I was talking about how I do think there's an Adderall problem, but I'm talking about people who are abusing it, who don't need it. You know, it's become a party drug for some people.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about. I think to that emailer's point, you can con a doctor, or they don't give a shit. And you can get medication on some of that stuff. And I just have seen too many things in my personal life where somebody over abuses and it doesn't help them. It's actually hindering them.
They act squirrely.
Yes, it's not. You're not making progress. You're going back.
Yeah, that could be the way. Well, we had a lot of comments, too, about whether it was rude or not to ask your babysitter to do a little bit of cleaning around the house. And Kate had said, no, you can clean up after the kids, not extra stuff, as this one person was worrying, this mom. Look, the babysitters are expected to clean up because they are the ones letting the kids make a mess. So that's part of being a babysitter, is not to let the kids just destroy the house and then just take off and bounce when the parents show up.
Well, imagine that. You're paying the money for the babysitter. The house is clean. You leave, the house is clean. You come back, and it's a fucking mess. Mm-hmm. You got to clean up after. If it happens with the kids during the shift, I think you got to clean up. It's part of the gig.
As long as you say that up front and say, look, I need you to make sure that when I come home, it's not a freaking disaster.
Yeah, I mean, let's say I'm babysitting these kids and they wanted to take out all the chicken nuggets from the freezer and put them all over the ground. And, you know, I'm supposed to just leave that there and not help clean that up when the parents come home?
Do you put the chicken nuggets back in the bag and put them in the freezer?
We tell nobody nothing. Yeah, but you just can't let, like I was saying.
So you put floor nuggets back in the bag.
Yeah, and I mean, I just think if your house is clean, you're babysitting, your kids are fucking up shit during your shift, I don't think it's cool to leave a messy house.
These kids are a bunch of a-holes. You know that.
And Erica said, as a babysitter growing up, that was part of babysitting responsibility. No extra pay. Also, you clean up the toys.
Yes,
yeah,
of course.
I would think so as well. I would think so as well. That just seems to make sense, that you don't let kids destroy everything. Now, Deborah had said here, I enjoyed your show last week when you spoke of kids today not wanting to start a family. Well, I can tell you as a mother of 5 children in South Florida, I wanted to let you know that none of my children has had any babies, and I'll tell you why. It's the cost of living, the rent, food. And everything is prohibitively expensive, not to mention childcare. My kids can't afford to bring up a child in these days and times. 2 of my children and their spouses are living in 1-bedroom apartments, each paying $1,700 a month. Even with 2 people working, it's a big struggle every month just to pay rent, car payment, car insurance, electric, water, phone, etc. The rents have gone up so much that nobody can afford to start a family. And the pay here in Florida doesn't go up in relation to the sky-high rents that they're asking for these days. My kids are struggling just to pay their bills. It's not that they don't want to start a family, it's just that they can't afford to have a family, no matter how much they would like to have children. Also, they cannot afford to even rent a home. Yeah, that's a good point. It's very true. It really is.
Let's have this kid so we can struggle even more.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you're already struggling and you're stressed, that is not the time to have a kid.
I got to tell you, I mean, we're definitely seeing Denny's raising the babies. It's got to be so draining, even just with one kid. But imagine having triplets and not expecting that. You're so geared up for the one, and like, oh, you're having 2 more on top of that.
What?
That's got to be fucking just.
It
what
is.
the shit? I mean, I'm sure you're blessed and you're so happy, but you're also stressed, too.
It is. It's a lot, and it's something that I think they really do need to start addressing and saying, okay, we got to get serious about this. You know, they're encouraging I see politicians and whatnot saying, oh, we need to have more babies. It's like, well, you got to make it appealing and affordable. I mean, you guys can pull the strings with housing and things like that to try to make it more affordable, but listen to what the people are saying. It's not that they don't necessarily not want to have kids, though some of them don't, but a big part of it, even if they did, they can't afford it.
Wage that rage so we never have to pull out. Know what I'm saying?
That's right, baby. Feel so much better when you...
Yeah, best thing about kids is making them.
Yeah. Feel for Jody on this. She said, about 2 months ago, my husband's 26-year-old daughter asked to have a graduation party at our new house that we just closed on February 28th for. We both agreed to her as long as she cleaned up. Not only did her and her sister come to our house and rearrange everything, but they also invited my husband's ex-wife's entire family.
Oh.
People who I have never met in my entire life. And mind you, his ex-wife threatened me the last time that we had any communication.
And they were in your house?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That makes my blood boil.
That's a mess.
In addition to this, my husband proceeded to say to one of their family members that he bought the house with his money. My husband also proceeded to share my personal life with his ex-sister-in-law, who I specifically asked not to. And while we entertained over 30 people in our brand new house and I continued to clean up after people during the party, not one of his daughters ever said thank you. They chose to leave the house without lifting a finger to clean up anything. My husband does not understand how much of my trust he loses when he cannot keep his word and does not stand up for me to his daughter.
Play him this fucking audio. Play on this audio. Clip it, and play it for him.
That night, my husband and I fought over this. I acted irrationally, and I apologized for my actions after the party, and still 2 days later have not received a thank you from his daughter or an apology from him. Yeah, I could see why that whole thing would be frustrating, but as you, I mean, it is your home, and you got burned, and so now you have a clear-cut reason why there will be no more parties, and this kind of thing will never happen again, and that is a boundary that you have established.
If that's how it really went down, you are not in the wrong at all. You have every right to be pissed off.
That's too much.
And look, honestly, sometimes in these kind of situations, they hand you something that's almost a favor to you because now you have a legitimate reason why this will not happen again. And you could use this and carry it on to other things, knowing that his daughters are ungrateful and they don't take care of things and whatnot. It's not just your house. It can now cover everything else that they might want to do. They want to borrow a car or a boat or whatever. It's a no, it's a no, it's a no, it's a no, it's a no. So, for you, in a sense, they gave you a no pass that is always valid. And if your husband can't respect your boundaries on that, then you guys have some serious issues. But he needs to at this point.
Unless there's something else going on here. Is there a reason? There's some drama and attitude. Did something happen in the past?
It feels like he's not respectful of you, and that to me is troubling. If he's telling your personal business, if he's walking around the party saying he paid for the house and you did help pay for it, that's disrespectful to you in your own new home when you were kind enough to say, okay, we'll host this party.
And I think it's always good to call out when you feel disrespected and you feel a little bit slighted with your partner. You need to have those kind of conversations so they don't keep doing it and say, hey, this happened. I don't like this. And here's a boundary for me. I'm not going to tolerate. So the next time you do it, you'll know how I feel. So when you see me seething, you'll know why I'm seething. And then I will have to make a tighter boundary. And that's just how this marriage works. And that's when when your boundaries get too tight, then unfortunately you're going to have marital problems.
I mean, at that point, I might even try to get a microphone and go, everyone get the fuck out of my house right now.
Yeah.
And before you get out, make sure you throw your cups away.
But, the thing for you, and I think you admitted it, she put something in there about how she did not respond well. And that's what's always tough because when you're being wronged, sometimes it's hard to always make sure that you're doing right. But I always try to, in my mind, when I know something's going down and I'm being taken advantage of or something like that is happening, I'm just saying, keep yourself together and you do everything right because it gives you much higher standing when the dust settles and you start working this through. Because when they can throw back at you, be it going, yeah, but you crack somebody over the head with a beer bottle. When you don't crack somebody over the head with a beer bottle, then you're like, okay, I didn't do anything wrong in this.
When you were provoked and you cracked them over the head with the beer bottle, nobody looked back at the provoking. They all look at the beer bottle crack.
Right, exactly.
It's hard, though, to sometimes when you are being disrespected like that, it's hard to keep it together.
Oh, it is.
It is.
No doubt it is. That's why removing yourself from the situation for a second, doing some deep breaths and try to get perspective. And then you go back into that room with a totally different attitude. Your attitude is, now at this point, I'm just keeping receipts. And I am going to be calm, cool, awesome. I'm going to have a smile on my face. I'm going to be polite with everybody. And I'm going to make note of everything going on. And I'm going to take video and document it all and put it all together.
I used to think that was like a psycho move to do if things were getting so crazy, just to remove walk away. Because they're like, what the fuck he walked away for? But it's like, because I'm about to fucking scream.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you do need to just get away. Something that's driving people crazy. I think some people feel like the best one-hit wonder of the 2000s has been ruined. Taylor says that Stacy's Mom beats every song that you've played. How did that get knocked out?
I don't know what to tell you, Taylor.
Not for me.
I can't remember what took out Stacy's Mom.
It was Candy. I believe.
That's right.
We're making people hate that song.
Yes.
And then kind of us, too. But if Kevin plays an option that you played some shitty options today. Whatever one against Candy wasn't, to me, I think
he's rewinding it to the wrong pick of knocking out Stacy's Mom for Candy. I think is what he's trying to say.
I stand by this statement.
I stand by it, too.
Okay. All right. Then.
If you're out in the club, don't think I'm not.
Oh, well, it's getting hot out there, Virginia. It's hard to really piss people off. I was really kind of hoping Kevin found a song I liked better.
Yes, let's blame Kevin.
I'm definitely blaming Kevin. Absolutely.
Oh, it's my fault. Yeah, it's just whatever your preference was. But I'll let the people decide right now. Did we make a mistake? Did we choose the wrong song? Which one is the better of those two? And that seems to be where the disagreement is.
You're throwing fucking chum in the water right now.
Oh yeah, I am. Sharks come feed.
You're going to get terrible.
Sharks come feed. Yep. Did Virginia and Jbird get it right when they knocked out Stacy's Mom for Don't Think I'm Not?
Yeah, and I guess a lot of people just hate that song, Don't Think I'm Not. It's a little sassy. I get it. It's my sassy era.
Nah, screw Stacy and her mom.
Right now, Stacy's Mom has a slight lead with 91% of the vote. So, yeah, that might be where the whole thing went wrong.
I mean, the people have spoken, Virginia.
No, Stacy's a moron and her mom's a slut.
Okay, thanks for calling us on that. But yes, voting would have gone differently if the audience had a voice. Some other people are commenting, too, on how people are basically, in a sense, using a credit system just for food. The one that was a little bit off for me is that DoorDash is now offering where you can buy now, pay later. Like, let's say you want a burrito delivered. And I think Michelle kind of sums it, or Brandon sums it up for me. He's like, wow, the first thought isn't, yeah, I'll just go get it myself because I don't have the money and save the delivery charge and tip. Nope, how can I finance it? And you're right. That is probably a definition of the restraint sometimes where, to me, food delivery, I think, has got to be just when you have extra cash. It's a luxury. At least it is in my mind.
You're right.
And there's other places, too. We got kind of spoiled, or something happened to where we go through these third-party apps, and you save a lot more money if you're able to go and call the restaurant, have them deliver it, but not everyone does that. You have to, get a delivery person. You got to pay them.
And then all the fees they add on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But should every restaurant have a delivery option at their restaurant? You call in and go, yeah, we'll send Jake right over.
I just don't think they can do that.
I don't think they can do it. I just don't think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? And yeah, Michelle said, yeah, it's pretty much the same as credit cards. We already have a problem with our credit cards, and now we're going to have it. Yeah, but look, I guess when you're struggling, you need food. So there you go.
Oh, that's not at all creepy. The building stopped humming, the lights went out, and we are now in the dark.
It's going to make it hard to read these emails.
But it's very sexy. Oh, there we go. Now we got lights back on.
Back.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Did we forget to pay our power bill?
Anytime that happens, I go, oh shit, here we go. Here's the Die Hard situation. They're coming in with guns. Yeah. They're going to take us hostage.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
We keep ordering delivery here and putting it on the station's bill, and it finally paid off. And Abby and Lily said, my sister and I are in Massachusetts, huge fans. Has Jbird ever heard of Abby Romeo's food rap song? It is a jam. She is from Love on the Spectrum. And I think she has a great way of explaining her feelings through lyrics.
That's one of my new favorite shows. I love that show. I think it's great. It's such a great show.
You've talked about it a lot.
It's so wholesome. It really does. It makes you want to just be nice to people.
Aww.
It's a very sweet show. My girlfriend got me into it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is lovely. And they said they hope one day, if they're ever in Florida, to see you in public so they can yell, fuck you, Jbird.
People still do that. Hey, Jbird,
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck,
that's what it is.
You're one of our people.
It's hey Jbird, and then you wait for Jbird to turn and smile at you, and you go fuck yourself.
One of these days, I'm gonna think it's a KVJ Nation, or just be somebody trying to club me.
People were very impressed after the discussion that happened yesterday on the show about the term red snapper that Virginia used. And I don't know what kind of pull you have. You're hanging with people in high power now, I know, Virginia. You got people that are connected. But I didn't know you had a direct line to the governor because you mentioned the red snapper yesterday, and then hours later, Governor Ron DeSantis announced that Florida will allow a record 126-day golf red snapper recreational season in 2025, which is up from 103 days back in 2024.
Oh, so we can all get that red snapper.
Yes, you can.
That red snapper must be some good eats then.
I think what's even better might be the Atlantic red snapper, which is currently limited to just 2 days.
Oh.
I'm just so surprised you guys never knew snapper was the term for,
Snatch. Yeah.
Snatch, yeah.
I think that maybe that's a Florida thing. I didn't grow up because we didn't have snapper. We didn't know what it was. We had, bluegill and bass.
You never heard of it? I mean, please pardon that snapping pussy. You never heard that before?
No.
Sorry.
No.
I know it was vulgar, but
What an Ohio thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a Florida thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
He didn't have enough aquaticism and, dirty.
Yeah, maybe they called it something different up there.
Yeah, poon.
We called it poon down here as well.
We had poon. Yeah, we
Yeah,
had
poon.
Okay,
Yeah,
everybody
I
has
think
poon.
everybody had poon. Yeah. Yeah, they that was a universal joke. That was even in movies. There was, I think Chevy Chase used it in one of the Fletcher movies. His name was Mr. Poontang.
Beaver, I think, is universal.
It is, yeah. That was in The Naked Gun.
Yeah, nice
beaver.
beaver. Thank you. I just had it stuffed yesterday.
That's right. Yeah, how do you think that the new Naked Gun movie is going to be? You got the guy from Taken. Leslie Nielsen is, or not Leslie Nielsen.
Liam
Liam
Neeson?
Neeson. Wow, it's Leslie Nielsen was the other one. Now you have Liam Neeson. Holy shit, that's confusing. Wow, I just now put that together.
I think it's got potential if you like that kind of comedy. Now, it's, very goofball.
Leslie Nielsen was amazing at pulling it off, and that was the big question. Can Liam Neeson now be Leslie Nielsen?
I just watched the original Naked Gun with some of the guys from the Snack Pack. We were belly laughing. Some of that shit is really, really funny.
It was very good. And I hate to say it, but O.J. Simpson was great in the role of Norberg.
Norberg was great.
Yeah, he was good.
He was great on the field as a football player. He was great as an actor, and he was a very successful murderer, too.
He was a great actor. Probably the best role I ever saw him play was in The Courtroom.
You're right.
I mean, that whole fucking
Put the
glove
glove on.
Nonsense.
Doesn't fit.
I don't know anything.
It doesn't fit.
Doesn't fit. He's barely put on his finger.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if this will excite you. I am not. I love Miami Vice. I love the franchise, but I saw what they did when they made a movie of it in 2006, and I wasn't overly thrilled. And look, they had a good cast in that. Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell, if you remember Michael Mann, too, who makes all the action movies. Now they're taking the guy who made Top Gun Maverick, and he's going to be directing a new adaptation of Miami Vice.
Okay. Same actors or different? Scrapping it completely.
I think it's all a redo. It's all a redo.
I do like when they have cameos, though, of the old guys that just show up as, like a guy working in the ice cream shop.
It does get confusing when they reboot a reboot.
Yeah, and I don't know that they are rebooting it. I don't know if they're going to even give any lip service to the one in 2006 because that movie did not do well.
It wasn't very good.
Yeah, and I don't even remember really a bit of it. I remember watching it, but it just very forgettable.
Well, the Miami Vice, the show, it had its own kind of flair. It was, you really got to know the characters. They're trying to do all that in 2 hours, and
Right.
I don't think it captured. And they made it like cool.
Yeah.
Too cool, I think.
And the thing that I wonder too, would it work if you brought back, like, say, for instance, Don Johnson? You know?
Yeah, I think it would. I think you want to make the fan base as happy as you want. You bring back the old characters.
If he has a cameo in it, I love that. That's what Wicked did. Wicked had cameos with Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel.
And I typically like them. I don't know that I like bringing back, because Don Johnson, he was young, he was gritty, he was sexy, he was all those kind of things. I just don't know if I saw him now, because he's not able to be the Sonny Crockett that he was in the 80s. Do you want to see him, what, he's now the commissioner or he's the chief or something like that?
I mean, they did it with in Top Gun Maverick. They brought him back.
Worked.
It did work.
In fact, I'm pointing this out as one of the rare exceptions, I think, where I don't know if I want the cameo or not.
Don Johnson's good at playing a dick too. He's good. The older he's gotten, he's kind of gotten away from the cool and more of like just like the good dicky role.
He is, yeah. But I mean, is that what Sonny Crockett was?
No.
And that's why I don't know. Would you be like, oh man, it feels like he's trying too hard? Or I mean, because honestly, Sonny Crockett would be the kind of guy that probably should have died young. You know?
Yeah, he lived hard.
He lived hard, and that was kind of the way that he went. To have them say that, yeah, he died in a blaze of glory or whatever, I'd be like, okay, I respect the game. That's how he should have gone out. He shouldn't be some old-ass chief now running the thing, and now he's the responsible one.
Or it shows him, the opening scene is Don Johnson in prison. Damn, Crockett went dirty.
Maybe. Yeah, now I guess there might be a way to make it work. Gosh, that would be a twist. What if he's now the bad guy?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm back in.
He ended up killing Tubbs. Crockett he did. Because Tubbs going to turn his ass in.
That's too far.
Tubbs going to turn his ass in and go, Crockett is dirty. He's like, you're not going anywhere.
No,
he died in the line of fire.
That's too far. What happened is it was a dirty cop that killed Tubbs. And then he turned on the police because Tubbs meant more to him than the police force did. And then that's when he kind of got dirty. And it was all because he got pushed out by standing up for his friend.
I like the fact that I want him killing Tubbs, just to make it even grimier, dirtier.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, yeah.
But he loved Tubbs.
Yeah, so until he got addicted to the yay.
Yeah, I just don't think you can bring back the old Don Johnson character and have him just be, because that's what they always do. Well, that's what they did with Iceman. He was running the Navy or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And that worked there. That was okay, but not in this. Because they couldn't let Maverick, he couldn't have a desk job.
No,
he was
he's
Maverick.
He's too crazy. He's
I feel that way
card.
about Sonny. He can't be the chief.
I do love those wild card characters. You think he's gonna make it? I don't know. He's crazy. He's a wild card. I don't know.
He shot Tubbs.
He shot Tubbs.
Yeah.
And they blamed it on the criminal.
Damn.
All right, I think that's about it for us here today. Thank you for all the emails that you sent through. Mail at kvjshow.com. That'll do the trick. Y'all enjoy your Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.